All right, so I have another newsletter question, and it was kind of touched upon, but I wanted to know what all three of you think about this. So I create newsletters for the company on new products, events, and employee news, like new hires, if somebody's leaving. And the owner's concern, my boss's concern is he doesn't want our customers to be turned off by too many newsletters. So my question is how frequent can we send out these communications? When does it become annoying? And are you guys interested in employee news? Like if we get a new hire or if somebody decides to move on?
I think to touch on the new employee, I think it helps. I think if you give them a little bio, where they came from, their experience, that helps. New employees. I mean, obviously, we're not going to read through pages and pages if that's the case, but I think the highlights would definitely help. I think we touched on it before that the newsletters, to me, help, depending on which one it is. I think it helps once a month, usually, or even twice a month, to be honest with you. That would be fine. I think, personally, I read them. I read through new stuff that's coming out, but if nothing jumps out at me, then I'll skip over it. If there is a new hire that would be beneficial to us knowing that, or then based on their experience, then I think that would be something that I would read through just to know that we have that extra resource.
My philosophy would be like a newsletter, once a month would be something that, we take the time to read. Make sure the new hires, you list them what department they're going to be in. So if someone's in purchasing and you're going to be talking to that person, you know who that person is. And then if you wanted to follow up and then, 2 weeks later, just do a email blast for the new product as a standalone, that may hit home.
Like I said, the newsletters is great once a month. And if we know what's new in your company, like you said, new hires, they'll be great. That way we know who to communicate now, or who to call in case we have any questions.
So this industry is changing very quickly with LEDs, with controls. What are the biggest challenges that you feel you could use more education on? And what's the best means to get that information?
I think lighting control systems is a big challenge for guys in the field. I kind of touched earlier that if we can do lunch and learns and we can do that kind of stuff in the office with our PM team and our engineering team, but at the end of the day, the electricians are the ones installing it, and we seem to never put enough time in for installation of those. The nuts and bolts of it are easy, but when you start getting into the programming and the testing and making sure what devices talk to what, it's a lot of internet research on their end. So I think the training, that's one of our biggest challenges, I would think. To help that, we could bring in all of our field staff and do one big controls seminar. It's something that we've definitely looked into, or we can do it on a smaller scale if we know we have an intense system out there. Make sure that we get the manufacturer and the trainer and everybody else out to the site to kind of at least explain to the foreman how this is going to get wired, what we're going to have to do a layout, stuff like that. That's what I think. There's a lot of on the phone with the engineering team of that, whatever particular product it is. As far as lighting control, in our case, we can never seem to put enough time in for installation and programming. A lot of our field force is not used to, they're used to just picking up the phone. They're not used to just looking it up on the internet or a lot of this YouTube videos. They don't even want to deal with it. They would just rather call engineering and be done with it.
So I got 3 quick questions. How many primary distributors do you use? What's the one thing you wish your primary distributors would improve the most upon? And what's the one thing they could do to wow you as a distributor?
Well, I do have multiple distributors. I mean, everyone has their own feel. In this case, devices, boxes. Some of the stuff that I encounter is that, when I get materials, some of the stuff, let's say example devices, I call in the supply, and it's a supply, and I don't have enough supplies. There's always back orders and back orders. So again, we're hunting for supplies, and you call a supply and they don't have it, So I don't know if the distributor is communicating, or in this case would be, distributors come in the building and literally come in and check, okay, what are you low in, or what do you need, so that way we have our material, because we're always in the hunt for, at least myself, 3 different suppliers to get a job done, because they don't have enough in stock, and that's what I'm saying. It's a stock, it's a supply house. It should have not everything, but the majority, and they know if they go and search our purchasing, they know what we're buying, so they have to have it there. I think.
We have more than one distributor we concentrate with. We pretty much have 2 primaries. I know you had 3 questions. The second one was the wow factor. I think the wow factor is just having readily available drivers. I know we can't expect, supply houses to drop everything on the doggone drop of a hat and run out to the job site, but deliveries sometimes are very crucial to us, and that's our wow factor. And what was your third question, sir?
They most improve upon.
To be one of your primary distributors, they have to be competitive, which they already are. And, I think, in all honesty, in today's free trade, if someone's not satisfying us, we're going to go on to their competition. So I think if they just keep doing what they're doing, everything's in good shape.
I would say we have 3 primary distributors with 2 secondary. If we can't find them, we would branch off into our secondary. I would say the wow factor would be, some distributors have adopted storing materials at their site, readily available for us when we release them. A lot of that's kind of happened over the last 5 to 8 years, where it's almost become a common. It's every time we order. I'm talking bigger fixtures and panels and stuff like that. They'll stock them for us in their warehouse, label them, tag them, ship them out as needed. That would be, and to do that correctly, especially with fixtures, is a wow factor. I would say the improvement could come with, I think George may have touched on it earlier, the back orders. If something's not available, we need to know, and it can't just be on a piece of paper, just saying that 150 were ordered, 0 shipped, 150 back ordered, and for us, maybe it's something that we needed right away. Maybe we need to be informed of that day, not the next day when the guy's getting the delivery. We need to be informed that, because if we need to go somewhere else, we need to know. I think that would be the biggest thing for improvement. But for the most part, Tom hit on it. They do a pretty good job. They've adapted with the times, and they do a pretty good job with, as of right now, and just continuing to improve. So, yeah.
Real quick, getting back to information sharing and you getting information and then also providing feedback. Have you ever been approached either by a distributor or a manufacturer to be part of a contractor council, where maybe you meet 2-3 times a year at a facility? They'll show you brand new products that maybe are not on the marketplace yet, and you could give feedback, hey, this works, this doesn't work. Have you been invited to anything like that? And if not, would there be an interest in participating?
I have not personally been invited to anything like that. I think that would be beneficial. I can absolutely see that for anything, it's new fixtures, new devices, new panels, new tools, new anything. I think we can bring the right people from our place and bring them there, and as long as we know what's going to be presented. But I definitely think that would be beneficial, and I would be interested.
Same here. Eaton's actually asked myself to participate in some of their surveys, and I have as well.
Yes, I would say in the last 2 years, I was invited, two manufacturers invite us to a little, I call it a little seminar. They come in and show us what's new. We had lunch or dinner. They show us the new stuff, and we can bring our employees, or our supervisors. So it does help a lot, and I really appreciate that.
George, were you able to give feedback on the product before it hit the market so that?
Yes. Yeah, we would give our feedback or our experience in that product, the new stuff too, but we also tell them what they're doing wrong on their existing products, and they try to correct it or try to improve it.
Joe, you mentioned that your field people have iPads in the field. What are they using those iPads for, and how do you think you could get more out of the investment?
They use them primarily for communication with the office. Emailing is a big key. I'll copy if I'm dealing direct on an email thread with a distributor, manufacturer, anybody really, anything pertaining to that job, I like to keep them informed, copying them on it. Drawings has been very big, so we like to put drawings on there. Whether it's a brand new drawing coming out, we like to set up a Dropbox or a Box account that's continuously updated so that they can download and see the new drawings before we actually print them, get them to our shop, and then get them to the field. The larger projects, drawings are changing all the time, so if we're continuously updating that, I think those are the main points. As long as they have the most updated drawings and communication with the office. If they could, and then internet searching, is good for them too. Some of the guys still have the old flip phones. We're trying to get them away from that. It's hard to get them to buy into the newer technology, but it's coming. I forget what your second question. I forget what that was.
How could they better utilize those iPads?
Looking at them more. All the tools are there for them. It's a matter of getting them to buy into the program. Maybe these newsletters would come to. Maybe the newsletters would come to their email addresses as well. Or maybe it would be something that I could forward them and say, hey, take a look at this product. I know I mentioned filtering through the office, but for them to improve, I think that's the main thing. It's just getting them to buy into the newer technology and the way things are going, and making sure they're utilizing it to its potential.
Final question here.
Yeah, as a business owner and manager, maybe unrelated to products, what are the biggest challenges you're facing right now in your business? What are the things that are keeping you up at night?
Finding, qualified talent is a major ordeal now, and a lot of young fellows coming out of high school think college is the only option, and that's one of our issues. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I would say the same. It's always finding talent. It's this industry is fast moving, and with the new products and new technology, it's passing by guys pretty quickly if you don't stay on top of it. So it's finding people that are tech savvy and can decipher through certain things and be quick on responding. I know in the field it's been harder. I'm not sure with Tom and George, but it's been harder for field staff. A lot of, with just the new generation, a lot more kids are going to college now, and it's hard to get them to commit to the construction industry. So we're seeing our older workforce retire, and we're not replacing them quickly enough to run our larger projects. So we're trying to mold and groom our younger field force, which in a good way, they're adapting to the technology much easier. So they're much more open to some of the new products and some of the new lines. But I would say that's one of our major challenges is the field force.
Yeah, I would agree with them. It's hard to get good help now. A lot of the stuff is, I put example, my kid, he doesn't want to come and work for me. He is going to college, and hopefully in 6 months he'll graduate, but he didn't want to work. He goes, okay, it's not my business.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming here and spending this hour with us. It was very informative, and again, I know it's hard to take time out of your day to come here and meet with all of us, but we do appreciate it, so I want to thank them.